Al Capone, the world's most infamous gangster, was a very cunning man. There are many rumors, urban myths, and so on about his lifestyle, but in fact I'm aware that many of you do not know what he really was like. Alphonse Al Capone was born on January 17, 1899 in Brooklyn, New York. He was the fourth son of Gabriel and Teresina Capone, an Italian couple who had made the transatlantic crossing from Naples, Italy, to America in 1893. Al Capone's parents were actually very hardworking and honest. In fact, they tried to raise law-abiding, well-behaved children. Little did they know how Al Capone, Ralph Capone, and his other brothers would turn out. Al was a relatively good student in the early grades, but as he got older, he preferred to skip school. The docks were fascinating to him, and he loved to watch the changing of the U.S. Marine Guards inside the Navy Yard. He also liked to taunt the guards through the fence, and once, when he was 10, one of them got angry. Al dared the older man to fight and escape a pounding only because the guard's superior, the corporal, got involved. The episode ended without violence, but the corporal ordered Al's funeral fees. When Al Capone was 17, he had a job at the Harvard Inn as a bartender. He often talked to the new customers. One night, he was attracted to Lena Galusio, sister of small-time hood Frank Galusio, who was sitting beside her. Attracted to Lena, Capone chose a straightforward approach. He tried to start a conversation with her, but she was not interested and ignored him. He accidentally insulted her after that, and her brother, enraged, took out a knife and slashed Capone 3 times in the face. In fact, in this photo, you will see on his cheek and forehead, he has many scars. This earned him the famous nickname, Scarface. Although, Al Capone didn't like this nickname, and he often, whenever someone called him that, shunned the person. John Torrio was the one that really pushed Al Capone out into the criminal world. He often let Al Capone run errands for him in the morning, and this was also a cause for Al Capone skipping school. On December 30th, 1918, at the Coghlan family church, Mary Coghlan, daughter of Irish construction worker Michael Coghlan, and Al Capone got married. 8 days before, their son, Albert Francis Capone, named Sonny, had been baptized there. Before long, Al Capone had bought a red brick house in South Park Avenue in Chicago. May, his son, Sonny, Teresa, Frank, John, Albert, Matthew, and Mafalda, all his brothers and sisters, were living in an apartment with him too. Ralph, who had already married, took an apartment in town, but he too could often be found visiting the family. John Torrio, who Capone had often run errands for when he was a young boy, became Capone's mentor and the founder of the mobster association known as the Organization. Soon enough, Capone was number 2 in the association and had been making around $25,000 a year. In May 1924, a man named Diane O'Banion learned that one of John Torrio's holdings, the Seaman Brewery, was about to be raided and shut down by the police. Slyly, he went to Torrio, who was the joint owner of the brewery, offering to sell his share for $500,000. Torrio agreed to pay. When he arrived at the brewery to oversee the arrival of shipment, however, federal agents stormed in and arrested him. There was no doubt in Torrio's mind that he had been double-crossed. Later that year, November 1924, as Dean O'Banion worked in his florist shop, filling the day's orders, 3 strangers entered. 2 of them were hitmen named John Scalise and Albert Anselmi. The other is unknown, but may have well as been Frankie Yale. As O'Banion extended his hand in greeting, Yale gripped it tightly. Scalise and Anselmi pulled out their guns. 5 shots rang out, striking O'Banion in the face and chest. He fell dead among the ferns and chrysanthemums. Although the police rounded up the usual suspects, including Capone and Torrio, after O'Banion's death, they could find no real evidence to make arrests. On the other hand, Jaime Weiss, a friend of O'Banion, did not need hard evidence to decide who was responsible for the murder. He vowed revenge on Capone and Torrio. Learning of his danger, Torrio and his wife left town for an extended vacation. Capone, however, remained in Chicago to take his chances. He soon, though, discovered that Weiss was a serious threat. In response, Capone increased security precautions. He never went anywhere without at least 2 bodyguards. He also ordered a specially built Cadillac sedan with 7-ton steel-armored body and bulletproof glass windows. He used only a trusted man as a chauffeur and directed 1 carload of bodyguards to precede him and 1 to follow whenever he went out driving. At home, he never stood or sat near a window, and usually kept the shades drawn in case of snipers. As one historian wrote, for him, security, constant vigilance, and bodyguards were neither an encumbrance nor an admission of cowardice, and they were a way of life. Despite his unfaithfulness, or perhaps because of it, Capone made sure that May and Sonny had the best of everything. In 1928, he purchased a sprawling beachfront estate in Miami, Florida, and allowed May to furnish it as she desired. Sonny, Capone's only child, had everything money could buy as well. There was always an abundance of toys for him to play with, and when he wanted to invite some of his classmates to swim the Capone pool in Miami, Capone threw a lavish party for more than 50 of them. Sonny was Capone's pride and joy, but he was also a source of concern. He was a shy, sickly boy who suffered from serious ear infections when he was young. Capone, wanting the best care for his son, took him to a New York specialist for surgery in 1925 and offered the doctor $100,000 to treat the boy. The doctor assured him, though, that the usual fee of $1,000 was sufficient, and the surgery was successful. Sonny's hearing was permanently damaged from the infections, however. Alcatraz was a former military prison perched atop stark, windswept cliffs. Strong currents, icy water, and sharks in the bay made swimming to the land virtually impossible. Also, Al Capone was among the first to serve a prison sentence here. Here's a mugshot of Capone, balding and worn-looking, before his transfer to a correctional institution on Terminal Island in Los Angeles. In early January 1947, Capone's life was drawing to an end. On January 19th, at about 4:00 a.m., he suffered a stroke. He lay close to death for a week. Then, when doctors thought he was improving, he developed pneumonia. And on the evening of January 25th, 1947, Alphonse Al Capone died. Despite his quiet death, Capone's notorious and violent life left him a legacy second to none in American history.